Hey everybody, this week on Ask Cristen, I'm diving into a topic I probably should have talked about by now. Huh? This week's question is coming from Caitlin, who sent me an email wanting to know, I'm a bisexual woman and I've been in a relationship with a straight cis male for the past 3.5 years. I love him dearly, but I don't think he's ever been 100% comfortable with my sexuality, especially since my best platonic friend in the whole world is a lesbian. Every once in a while he brings it up and comments on how it makes him uncomfortable, our most recent fight being about how my best friend and I are studying abroad over the summer together and will most likely be sharing a bed for cost purposes. I am so sick of having this argument and I don't know what to do, and I was wondering if you could talk about it and maybe see if other people have ever had a similar issue. Even though the B in LGBTQIA is the largest group in that alphabet soup, historically and contemporarily, we have mistrusted bisexuality, questioning whether it really exists and saying things like, oh, you must be gay, straight, or lying. All of that contributes to bisexual erasure in our society, and when we do see depictions of bisexuals in pop culture, too often they simply promote biphobic assumptions and stereotypes. According to a recent media analysis conducted by GLAAD, 28% of the recurring LGBT characters on TV are bisexual, which is an all-time high. However, you want to know what's still just hanging out at its all-time high? The trope of the evil hypersexual bisexual. Aside from a handful of characters like The Good Wife's Kalinda Sharma and Grey's Anatomy's Callie Torres on the small and big screen, more often than not, bisexual characters are depicted as untrustworthy, manipulative, self-destructive, and willing to sleep with just about anybody. For a vintage example of biphobia gone wild on film, consider Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct. Or take Orange is the New Black, a show that I personally enjoy and has been hailed by the media for its diversity, but which also fails in the bisexuality department, considering how Piper Chapman is absolutely untrustworthy, hypersexual, self-destructive, and also bisexual, even though she's only derisively referred to as a former straight girl or a former lesbian. For a book TV crossover example, I find it really interesting how Emily in Pretty Little Liars, the books, is very clearly bisexual. However, Pretty Little Liars, the television show, explicitly stated that they were not going to explore Emily's bisexuality. And off-screen, who can forget that charming Vogue writer who described Cara Delevingne's bisexuality as just a phase. These are just a few of the examples of how we perpetuate this stereotype of bisexual women and men as indecisive, hypersexual, and devious. All of which sound like key components to concocting this kind of ridiculous assumption that your long-term monogamous girlfriend is absolutely definitely gonna run off and have sex with her platonic bestie because, according to this recipe in your head, since she's sexually attracted to both men and women, she's therefore sexually attracted to all men and women. Her sexual orientation is so overwhelming it strips her of her personal agency, so she has no choice but to have sex with whoever is laying next to her in bed. And Caitlin, listen, my advice to you is to talk to him about this. It sounds like he needs to lay down some stereotypes that he has absorbed about how bisexual women must act. That's really disrespectful to you, Caitlin. I think the thing that actually upsets me the most is how incredibly marginalizing it is to you as an autonomous person. I am really curious, as Caitlin asked, to know if any viewers have experienced similar kinds of relationship issues and how you've dealt with them. Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you're on the flip side of this equation, if you're the straight person in the relationship and you've gotten nervous about your partner's sexuality, these are valid and important conversations that we should be having. And as always, dear friends, whether you are straight, LGBTQIA, whatever letter describes you best, ask me your questions so I can give you some answers.